I'm here to talk about your manifestation hangover. I just recorded another call about an hour ago, and I always like to listen back through. That's a good reason to join me on Telegram because you can voice note your experience and then go back and listen and get a lot of information about your own manifestation journey, plus get my input. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. The link to join on Telegram is in the description. And I was just recognizing, so the place I got to was a desire for more play, and I was recognizing how heavy my voice was throughout the entire 17 minutes, including when I was talking about play, and I was taking a lot of deep breaths, and oh my gosh. And I just want to talk about this manifestation hangover because I had a huge manifestation in the last week. I believe it was about a week ago, where my car was paid off, if you recall. So a $19,000 influx of cash. And this is a very natural thing that happens. And I have thought about this throughout the week and the different phases a person goes through. So I've spoken before about the birds and twigs, or as one of my friends calls it, the twigs and berries, where when you get parts of your manifestation, it's good to celebrate. What we actually tend to do is we get parts of our manifestation and then we hit this energetic cycle. So our energy in electromagnetic field world is moving from neutral to positive to negative back to neutral. And I'll give an example specific to me getting my car paid off. So I got the text, hey, would you like your car paid off? I felt a lot of chaos. I was like, oh my gosh. I signaled somatic safety to help calm the chaos. It was excitement, but it was a little bit chaotic in my system. So signaled somatic safety. And then for the next couple of days, and then I got the money, I think the next day, put the payment through right away, and then it was cleared by the following day. So it was a 2 or 3 day process. And during that, I was feeling that pulsation into positive. Like I was going up in my elevator and I felt like light and free and wow and holy shit and cool and amazing. And I've entered a new dimension. Then, this is the hangover part. Then you start to cycle back down into the negative pole. And you're going to have an equal drop as you had rise. So this is when, for most of us, our stuck shit is in the negative pole. Or we have more, this is where things are dense. This is where things are crystallized. This is where the manifestations live, whether they are wanted or unwanted by your conscious brain. This is where the things exist that you put into motion in the past. And so they're heavier and they're slower and they're already here. And if your new creation and that new pulsation up into the positive realm, and I mean electromagnetically positive, if it's touching on things that are in contrast to what's already in place in that negative realm, it's going to stir some shit up. You're going to be confronted with the things that are its contrast. And so that's where the hangover comes in. That's where you start to feel glum. That's where you start to feel like, well, what did I even if you're not thinking about the manifestation, it doesn't mean you're directly like, oh, well, this sucks now. Because of course, if you're thinking about it consciously, it doesn't suck most of the time. But shit's gonna get stirred up from the bottom. You've hit a new high. Now you're gonna touch on things that are a little bit lower than your normal baseline, and they're gonna stir up, and you're gonna be confronted with them, and you're gonna feel them, and it's gonna feel like everything sucks a little bit. And this is where the beautiful fancy saboteur comes in. So, in my Stability Accelerator course, I talk about the wealth threshold, and we have a threshold with everything. So it's like your comfort zone. And if you get too high above your comfort zone and you're not aware of it, you're going to sabotage. And if you get too low, then you're going to pick yourself back up. That's when you start taking action. So this new high is touching the things as it moves through its pulsation. It's touching the things that have kept you where you are. And so now you get to either believe those things and play into them and drop back down to your baseline where you were before, or you can keep your awareness about you and recognize that you're in a new space. And this is just some of the residue of the old world that is ready to be filtered out and filtered through. And then sometimes you come across things that feel like depression or lack of joy or lack of desire or glumness or listlessness or what am I doing here? And that's not the only place where those feelings come from, but it definitely can be part of this cycle. So as I was listening to myself in my last video, and I was like, okay, it's no surprise that this is coming through after I've just had this uplifting experience. Like, this is my residue shit. What I came to is true. So this is why it's good to lean back into, I mean, I'm not every day like, what do I need to work on? What do I need to work on? But when you notice these things come up, lean back into the tools. Like, my tools are in my journal, they're in my books, they're in my courses. And so I was noticing this gap and I was like, all right, well, let me see what's in here. Let me see what's in this gap instead of just believing the bullshit that I tell myself in my head when I don't feel very excited about anything. And the thing I found was play. And that still feels true. Like, that is, I would say, my next level. And as I was listening again to the replay of it, I felt even more this place of like determination. Like, we have to get somewhere. We have to work out because we're trying to achieve, and not just me, but like the global experience of that. Like, we have to work out because we're trying to achieve something. We have to eat a certain way because we're trying to achieve something. We have to do this work because we're trying to achieve something. And cool, like, I'm not anti-achieving something, but having play next to it for me is going to make my life brilliant and vibrant, and has. Every time I've had that in my life is a beautiful, I mean, I always just think colorful. It's vital, it's colorful, it's vibrant, and that's what I want. So, in upon my own reflection, I just wanted to point out the manifestation hangover that is really easy to fall into and what to do. And the what to do is, one, don't believe it. Maybe track back and be like, okay, what just recently opened for me? Might that have a relationship to this? Might this be why this stuff is coming up? Just because it is the equal contrast to what I just experienced. And now what's true? Now what am I curious about? Now what am I interested in? Do I just need to ride the wave and then I'll be good? Is there something new in here that I want to explore, like was true for me? Hope this helps.